In this video, I want to talk about why I quit scrolling for buy-to-let investment properties. When I first started to look for buy-to-let investment properties, I remember spending all my time on Rightmove. If I was on the toilet, I was scrolling Rightmove. If I was on the train on the way to work, I would be scrolling Rightmove. And just before bed, guess what? I was scrolling on Rightmove. It was literally taking over my life. Whenever I had the opportunity, I would be scrolling Rightmove in the hope that I would find an amazing buy-to-let property cheap that I could rent out in the short term and benefit from capital appreciation in the future. When I was scrolling on Rightmove, I would be looking at least 3 different areas, and I remember I would make a note of the number of properties that came up in the search so that I could see whether or not something had been added which I might not have seen. In terms of what I was looking for, all I was trying to do was find an outlier, something which looked a lot cheaper than everything else that was listed on Rightmove. I think all beginners do this, and I wasn't any different. I was just desperate to find my first one and get started. I have realized that there is a secret when it comes to finding investment property. Not just one, but 2 secrets. Some of the problems I came across when just scrolling Rightmove was the following. I had no idea what I was actually looking for. I knew I was looking for cheap properties, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to invest in a flat or a house. And so often my search results would lead to pages and pages of results. And some of the cheap properties, when I called the estate agent, I would find out the lease was short or that there was a sitting tenant as part of the sale. And so these properties suited a cash buyer, something I wasn't at that time and still am not. Every time I logged onto Rightmove, I would see the same results. And often I wasn't sure and couldn't remember if I'd seen some of the listings before. I also realized that the properties that did look undervalued were sold, and the agent left them on there so that when someone called, they could register their details. So a marketing ploy. I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. I was literally just spending my time scrolling, and so I decided to stop. I realized I needed to look at this as if I was at work, more professionally. At the time, I was working at Standard Bank, which is a South African investment bank, and one of the things I quickly learned was that you had to find out what you were trying to achieve, then you could look at how you could achieve it. I had to find out what my investment objectives were and then find an area where these would work. I wanted to pick an area where the property prices were reasonable, and so I chose Birmingham. Given that I knew the area to a certain extent, the prices were much more affordable and the rental demand and yield was good. I decided to invest in boring old buy-to-let and had no desire to invest in HMOs, commercial conversions, and had little or no experience to move straight into land development. So for me, it was a process of elimination based on how much time, experience, and money I had at the time, which was little time, no experience, some savings. I then identified where my strategy would work well based on the rental demand, having spoken with 3 agents in the area. At the time, I knew I wanted to invest in houses and not flats. I had a light bulb moment and I had discovered the first secret when it comes to using Rightmove. I realized that Rightmove had the ability to set up alerts, but it had the functionality to filter what I was looking for and then alert me to any new properties that matched my criteria automatically by email. And actually a little bit embarrassed that I hadn't realized this early on. And now every time a new property was added, I would automatically get emailed the property into my inbox. I actually found my house I live in using these filters and notifications. Another hack I found was that there was a little heart at the bottom of each listing with the words save next to it. This meant that once I had set up a Rightmove account, if I initially liked the look of something, I could hit the save icon and it would automatically be saved to my saved searches for me to review later on, rather than me having to find this particular listing again. I'll show you at the end of this video how I use the filters effectively and how I set up an alert. The second secret I was taught on a property course I attended, and that was called Property B, now called Property Log. Property Log is a clever little Google Chrome extension that allowed me to see a list of historic price changes for properties listed on Rightmove. I can't believe this is completely free. I could find out the following. When the property was first listed on Rightmove, how much the property was originally listed for, if there had been any price changes since it was first listed, what the revised price was, and when the price change was made, all the way up to what the property is listed for now. The real benefit of this tool was that it allowed me to quickly scroll up and down the page, and whenever I saw a sea of blue, I paid extra attention as the blues indicated price changes. Almost like having inside information. The majority of Rightmove users don't know about this feature, so please keep this to yourself. It allowed me to build up a picture of the property owner's motivation. If the property had been on the market for a long period of time and the price kept coming down, that meant that the property was not selling and that the owner had instructed the agent to reduce the price in order to encourage more viewings and an ultimate sale. This feature also allowed me to sense check and compare the information that the estate agent was telling me. For example, I have had agents in the past say to me that the listing had just come on when in actual fact it had been on Rightmove for at least 3 months. I realized that the agent is working on behalf of the owner and so looking to get the best possible price. But if I could show them I already knew how long the property had been on the market and the price changes, then I could ask the question, what is the owner realistically looking for, rather than the agent just saying, just make an offer. If a property was listed with a number of different agents, this also showed me that the owner was motivated and also showed me at which point another agent was appointed to market the property for sale. This helped me to identify if the owner had suddenly become disheartened with their current agent and appointed another agent to try and help sell the property. I always find it useful to call all agents the property is listed with, even if it's listed with multiple agents, and ask the following questions. How long has the property been on the market? What's been the feedback from people that have viewed the property? Have there been any offers? What is the owner looking for? Is the property owner occupied or owned by an investor? Are they in a chain or is the property chain free? Would the owner consider a cash offer? All this information helped me to build up a picture of the property and the owner, and it allowed me to find the agent I thought was more likely than not to help me secure the property. In the above example, there have been many instances where I've connected with someone on the phone and therefore our goals have been aligned. They want to sell the property, I want to buy the property. Now the only question remains is at what price. I actually found my house I live in using these filters and notifications. How I use the filters effectively and how I set up an alert. Go on to rightmove.co.uk, enter Handsworth, Birmingham as an example. The search radius should say this area only. Price range, no minimum, and the maximum is £250,000. The minimum number of bedrooms is 2 and the maximum 3. Property type, houses. Now find properties. Click on filters and click don't show new home, retirement homes and buying schemes. Then sort for lowest. You will see 21 properties using this search criteria, and all you have to do is hit create alert instantly and hit create alert and create an account if you don't already have one. This at the time of recording showed me 21 properties, 1 page on Rightmove. Now, if I did the same search for Handsworth in Birmingham without using the filters, there would have been 111 results for me to go through. Compare that with just 21. Adding property log. Go to your Google Chrome browser, type into Google Rightmove Google Chrome extension, click on property log, then click add to Chrome. Now go on to rightmove.co.uk and enter the area you are interested in and prepare to be amazed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Even if you are not looking to invest in property but looking for a property to live in, these 2 secrets will save you so much time and effort. So stop scrolling and start doing.